Mrs. Harmer here again with a bit more Spanish. Okay, I'm sharing the screen. Sharing the screen. I know I promised you something last time. Can you remember what it was? Yes, indeed. We're going to learn some names of vegetables. So obviously I have a couple more special guests like I did last time. But before we move on to vegetables, I'm wondering if you can remember what the names of these fruits are here. I'll hang on for you, see if you can remember them. Okay, that's quite enough time. So hopefully you said this one, pera. I thought I'd start with that one because that's the most like English. Hopefully you could have said banana for this one, but hopefully you used the more interesting name, plátano. And hopefully you remembered my first fruit name that I learnt, manzana. Cool. Okay. Right, well, seeing as we're moving on to vegetables, I better introduce my special guest to you. I've got a couple of carrots here and a little family of cherry tomatoes. But anyway, that's just to get you thinking. I'm going to ask similar questions to the ones I asked last time. Do you actually like vegetables? Which vegetables do you enjoy? And do you have a favourite vegetable? I'll hang on here while you have a teeny chit chat. Okay, let's move on. I think that's enough time now. So, I want to tell you about a story called Oliver's Vegetables. I don't know whether you've encountered this story. It's quite a page turner. I'm afraid I am going to, ruin the ending for you because in the story, Oliver, of the name Oliver's Vegetables, thought he didn't like vegetables and only wanted to eat chips. And then he found that he did. And he looked around Grandad's garden. Um, and in Grandad's garden, which was an amazing vegetable one, Oliver found carrots first. Carrots in Spanish are called zanahorias. Everybody say zanahorias. Super. So he liked them so much, he had them for Monday lunch. Grandad's garden was so amazing. It was so full of vegetables. He might, but he didn't, he might have found broccoli. I wanted to show you this one because look at this. Broccoli in Spanish is called broccoli. Everybody say broccoli. Lovely. He could have found tomatoes. The Spanish word for tomatoes is tomates. Super. Instead, he found spinach and cabbage, which in Spanish is espinaca and repollo. He found espinaca, everybody say espinaca, on Tuesday, and repollo on Thursday. Did you notice I'm doing a y sound for that double L there? Okay, don't forget to do that. Eventually, they found potatoes to make chips. There's two names for potatoes, but I thought I'd show you this one, papas. Okay, let's move on to the next screen. Okay, as well as all of those, he found beetroot and peas. So the Spanish for beetroot is las remolachas. I'll say that again so you can practice properly. Las remolachas. And for peas, los guisantes. Lovely. And you'll notice in English, we keep beetroot in the singular, but in Spanish, you can put it in the plural. You can make it more than one. Okay, so turn to the person near you and say if you've seen a vegetable that you really love mentioned so far. Go now. Okay, whoa. That was supposed to be a simple yes or no, or maybe the name of the vegetable. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, having shown you the names, is I'm going to see if you can remember, and I've only shown you them very briefly, so it'd be very good if you could. I'm going to see if you can remember which one is what. So I'm going to pick one of my names here, and I'm going to describe it, and then you see if you can say before I place it which one it is. Only say to the person nearest you, okay? So I'm going to pick up, I think I'll pick up this one first. Which one is this way? Which way? Which way is this one going to end up? So these, because if you notice they're all plural, they're all groups of things. These ones are green and round and in a sort of case. What do you think they are? You would be right if you said peas. Los guisantes are peas. Oh, by the way, I've added another vegetable here, onions. I know some of you probably like onions, so I thought I'd add them in now. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, I think we'll go for this one. Now these, put them here. They can be very long. They've got green tufty bits on the top. They're orange. Turn to the person next to you, say to them what you think they are. If you're agreeing that these are carrots, you are right. Well done. Okay, let's go for, this one's be a bit easier, won't it? Now these, they are red and they have like a little green bit on the top that's attaches them to the plant. Probably the easiest one here. Los tomates are tomatoes. Okay. What should we go for next? I'm going to move that down and move that down and move this down and move that down because otherwise I'm going to run out of room. Okay. Let's go for, this one sounds a bit like what it is as well. So these, they look like a bunch of leaves. They're quite round, the leaves. You guessed it yet? Yes. Las espinacas. Okay, sounds a little bit like spinach, doesn't it? Espinacas. Okay, so I've got these ones left. Let me move them so I've got a bit more space. Here we go then. Right, move those cabbages down. Okay, I think I'm going to go for these ones next. Los repollos. Now these, again, are green A lot of vegetables are. That's why they're called greens quite often. Uh, and they've got sort of crinkly leaves, and they're a little bit like a lettuce, but a bit more solid. Mhm. If you thought those were cabbages, you are right. Los repollos, cabbages. Great. So we've got three left here. Las cebollas, las remolachas, and las papas. I think we'll go for these, seeing as I'm hovering over them. Now, these come in various sizes. They're really nice baked, actually. They're brown most often, but white inside. Brown skin, but white inside. Good. I'm glad you're all telling me potatoes. Las papas are potatoes. So just two left now. Two left. Let me move the peas down, because otherwise we won't have room for the onion's Spanish name. That would be terrible. There we go. Right. So we have las remolachas. Oh, I really struggle to say that one. And las cebollas. Las remolachas. Now they're sort of like purpley, and they've got green leaves, and you can pickle them if you like that sort of thing. Yes, las remolachas are beetroots. So las cebollas are the onions. There we go. Well done. Okay. Now then, as last time we had a fruit pattern, I've set up for you a vegetable pattern, but this one is slightly different. If you noticed, all the groups of vegetables, they weren't just one vegetable, there were lots of them. Let me show you again. Okay, there's more than one. So we've got these in the plural form. Okay, so what I want you to do this time is you are going to do your vegetable pattern. Like I've made a start with carrots. So you draw them and then you write their name underneath. Okay, so I could, if I wanted to, I could do, well, you guess what this is. But I have to do more than one. I can't just leave it at one like I did with the fruit. Have you guessed what it is yet? Okay, I better make the writing a bit smaller, otherwise it's going to go tragically and horribly wrong. Well, it doesn't want to. No, it's not wanting me to do that. So I'll have to handwrite it, I think. Hopefully you can read my handwritten writing, well, because that's what you're going to be doing, but I expect yours is slightly easier to control than mine. Have you guessed? Yes, they are tomates. Okay, but make sure that you give them more than one of them and write the name in the plural as well. Okay, so that's what you're doing for the next few minutes. If you like, you can pause me. Here's your screen to use to get all the names. And actually, I've added another bonus one for you here. I couldn't resist it. This is one of my favourites. Again, this is one of the first vegetables I learnt. You're getting to hear the story of my Spanish life. Las lechugas are lettuces. Okay, so these happen to be the romaine variety, but you can draw any sort of frilly lettuce that you like. Okay, so pause me and have a go at the vegetable pattern next. Great, you've done enough of that. Let's continue then. So, I'm going to go back to that. That's it. So we're going to listen to a song now. So you can pause me again after this. about vegetables, las verduras, called Choppity Chop. It's quite fun, but it's a bit quick, so you need to listen carefully. And when they start saying the vegetables in Spanish, you can repeat the name after them. So pause me for a moment now. Okay, now I might seem a little obsessed with this story, but it is quite a useful story. You might have seen it before. So the story goes like this, sort of. This is like a bit of a summary. On Monday, Oliver found carrots. Now, Monday in Spanish is el lunes. But what's carrots? Good, good. I'm glad you're telling me las zanahorias. Great. Now, I'm wondering if you can remember what this one means, el martes. It's the day after Monday. What's this translation here? You're so right. It is Tuesday because Tuesday he found spinach, la espinaca. Okay, Wednesday. Can you remember what Wednesday is in Spanish? You can't, I'm going to tell you. El miércoles. Everybody say miércoles. Fantastic. Well, on Wednesday, they found rhubarb, which I wouldn't eat like a vegetable, but I thought I'd better tell you about it anyway. And in Spanish, that's called el rhubarbo. Good. You had a go at that? Fantastic. Thursday. I'm wondering if you can remember Thursday. El jueves. And on el jueves, they found los repollos. Los repollos? What are they? You're right, they're cabbage. Okay, Friday, el viernes. They found beetroot or beetroots. What are they called in Spanish? Can you remember? I'll tell you. They're las remolachas. Saturday, el sábado. They found los guisantes. What are they? Can you remember what guisantes are? Something quite short in English, look. Yes, they're peas. On Sunday, which is domingo, what did they find? To make chips? You're right. They found potatoes. Okay. Now you've finished everything, and I can only do this if you've got time, I've set it up so that you can do vegetable bingo. So you need to pause on this screen to fill in your grid like you did for the fruit. And then on the next screen, I'll show you quickly, I have once again mystery vegetables. They could be anything, but I'm hoping you're going to play this live if you've got time. So I'll leave you to set that up and say goodbye. Adios.